Got a new projectile, the Byrna Eco-Kinetics, and we're going to give them a test today with the Lifelite, and we'll see how that goes. This thing is ideal for 3-gram projectiles. These are great for outdoors. They water soluble, environmentally friendly. Let's give it a try. All right, let's see what these are like. Looks like 68 caliber, feels hard. I don't know if it would break in my hand. I don't feel that it will break just by squeezing it. Probably very similar to a PepperBall in terms of their durability. It'd be very interesting to see how this does on a target, what kind of little green cloud we get, and how well they break up from something like the Lifelite, which in my opinion, is powered very similarly to a Byrna. All right, here's one piece. It's pretty hard, like chalky. Some more fragments. And some of the powder. I was aiming right here. They were all hitting low. All right, so the elevation was off, mostly the elevation, which is the left. The right is the windage. I've got my Allen key. I'm gonna go and take another test shot. I made a slight adjustment to the elevation to bring it up what looked like about the right amount. I'm gonna add in 5 more of my Eco-Kinetic rounds. 3, 4, 5. One thing I can say so far is that these work great in the Lifelite. There's been no problem at all with loading them, shooting them. It fires them just fine. So get this in. Sometimes it has to actually get the first one down into the breech very gently. Close it. So now we'll go and we'll take a few shots and we'll try to get this thing lined up. Okay, first shot after realignment. Still a little bit low and to the right, so I'm going to make a slight adjustment here. It's left, so that's the wrong way. Even more left. Still left. Much closer. Finally. All right, I'm going to go back about 20 feet and we'll see. I think I got this thing set up a little bit better now. All right, I adjusted the windage just a little bit. I think it might be just right now, so let's cross our fingers and hope for the best here. Moved it over just a little bit. that's about as good as it's gonna get. It's very close right now. Took a little bit of trial and error back and forth with the windage and the elevation, but I think I got the elevation nailed perfectly. The windage was very close. These are the Byrna Kinetic rounds, so they're 3 grams, so there's not a lot of wind right now, so the wind is not a factor, but I think that accuracy at 20 feet is perfectly acceptable, as you can see. All right, I've got powder balls in there. This is going to be my last 5 shots using the powder balls against the target, and I'm going to be shooting at what might be a realistic scenario from inside my patio. Here's the door. It's about 20 feet, and I'm going to draw, and I'm going to put 5 shots on the target, and let's see how that goes. I can definitely smell the baby powder. Now this is outside, and as you can see, there's a breeze blowing along here, along the lake. You saw that the powder just blew out across the lake, but I'm right here. I can smell the baby powder right now. So if this was the Pava powder, I would be experiencing some of it right now, although I would be going that way. But we're gonna walk over and take a look. This thing has some holes in it, so some of them probably didn't break as perfectly, but let's take a closer look. Looks like everything broke that hit. There's a lot of impacts right in here with the powder. All the green that I was shooting earlier is completely gone. And more powder back here. So on target, and most of the cloud just blew away rather quickly. So a couple take-home points from this testing with the Lifelite. One thing that I have learned is that if you want the best power and the best accuracy from this, I do not recommend that you use the CO2 that comes with it stock. If you look closely, I actually don't know where these are originally from, but it says Special Force 12 gram CO2 Leland, made in Japan. I have no idea where these are originally from, but PepperBall got these. This is what came with my Lifelite. These things are underpowered. I have not yet. I have 2 more of these, and I may test these with a chrono at some point, but from my experience, they dip. They don't shoot as accurately. But when I shoot with the tried and true Umarex brand, I get they hit hard. There's more power, they're very accurate, and I got as many as 30 shots out of this Umarex CO2 in this system. And so that's what I highly recommend. It's a clean CO2. And it's the only thing that I use in my PepperBall products. The other thing I learned is that always keep your instructions, because this laser was dead on for the first year or so. It sit in a drawer. It really wasn't used. It wasn't carried a whole lot. And the laser got off. And there are two little screws, one on each side here of the laser. You can set the windage and the elevation, but keep your instruction manual. It's very helpful sometimes for getting those things set up. Overall, this thing is growing on me more and more. I have gotten exactly what I want out of it. Flashlight, laser, shots on target. You just can't reload quickly. You can pop this out and you can pour in some. If you had another one in your pocket, you could pour it in fairly quickly and you could reload. So not slow. You can do it within 15 seconds, 30 seconds. Maybe you could get even faster, but you do have to be careful if you're loading Live-X back in and you've got 5 Live-X in there and you take this plunger. Don't just jam it down in there so fast because you may break them. I find you have to sort of jiggle it a little bit because the first round has to actually make a transition and move over into the breech. And then once that happens, then this thing can close very easily. But until that round gets into the breech, this thing's not going to want to shut properly. So there'll always be like a little gap there wanting to go down, and then when that ball moves in, then it will go in and you can snap it shut. So that's my take home from this. I learned a little bit about the Byrna kinetic rounds. There you can see the inside. I like these, the Byrna Eco-Kinetic rounds. Shoot these outside in the yard, water soluble. I may put this in some water and just see how water soluble it is, but they're hard. You can't break it with your hand, but I'm sure if with a hammer I could easily just crush it. But you can see what it's made out of. It's but it broke every single time on a hard target. Now if you shot this against yourself or something soft, I imagine these would function very much the same as the other kinetic rounds that they sell. So I like these from that perspective. Just make sure that you keep them dry, keep a desiccant in there because they are water sensitive and moisture sensitive, especially here in Florida. I've got to keep a desiccant in there, get them back in the house. Don't let them get to moisture. That's generally true for all projectiles, not just these types of projectiles. And then I also had a chance to break my last batch of these inert rounds, and they never disappoint. But I am telling you, whenever you're using pepper balls, even outside here, I could smell it. I could smell the baby powder. So there's always a risk of self-exposure. Be prepared for that because that sort of comes with the territory. So these are water-soluble, eco-friendly, eco-kinetic rounds. Got a glass of water here. This is one that I had that got fractured. So let's drop it in. And I'm going to time it, and let's see how long it takes for that to dissolve. Only been a minute or two, but look at that. It's already starting to dissolve. And I really haven't done anything but watch it. See the green on the bottom now. Doesn't waste any time. These things are definitely water soluble. I imagine if you just sprayed the area there, they're just gonna go right into the soil. Look at that. We're exactly 1 hour later now. You can see mostly getting there, turning into a really green solution. I know what it looks like. It looks like a tropical drink, doesn't it? That's your Eco-Kinetic round after about 2 hours. These are definitely water soluble. Highly recommend them. I think you should always try to not leave plastic and PVC projectiles in your yard and in bushes, and there's wildlife. There's a lot of things that we need to try to avoid getting a hold of them. This is a great idea if you're shooting, plinking. Highly recommend it. Well, that's going to do it on this video, but I just wanted to say a few words. Here we are in 2023. I want to wish everyone a very happy new year. Wishing you the best in 2023. Follow me this year, like, subscribe, join us. We're going to have a lot more new content. Stay tuned.